Hey, it's PJ Ignis from Archangel Self-Defense. Now, there are several different ways that you can break free if an attacker grabs you by the wrist, pulls you by the wrist, and in most of those instances, pulling back against your attacker isn't a great idea, because then we kind of get this tug-of-war thing going on where I pull and then my attacker pulls me towards them, and really it's just kind of the person who has the most leverage or the stronger person who wins that battle. And it's really inefficient from a self-defense standpoint, but in this instance, that's exactly what we're going to do. And I am going to teach you kind of a sneaky trick that you can use to take the fight towards your attacker. It also should be noted that if my attacker were to grab my wrist, then my hand is tied up, I can't use that hand. But my attacker's hand is also tied up, and my attacker can't use that hand to defend themselves. So things like their eyes, their nose, their groin are all open targets where they can't defend against an attack. So those are all open to me. Those are all options that I can exploit. But if an attacker were to grab my wrist, I can pull against them. And like I said, most likely they're going to try to pull against me. And in this case, that's what I want. So I'm actually kind of tricking them by pulling against them. They're going to pull back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to step in and bring my knee up into their groin or into their body. And then I am going to take the fight to them, and I can follow them up with clinching, grabbing their head, following up with another knee, maybe a few knees, or a palm strike, an elbow strike, and I can aggressively attack my attacker until I've neutralized that threat, and then I can get out of there. So I learned this while I was studying Russian martial arts, is you're getting a lot of these former Soviet operatives who are coming over here and teaching this stuff openly and making their living that way. And they're real big on suckering your opponent, baiting your opponent to do exactly what you want them to do. So I know if someone were to grab my shirt or grab my sleeve, grab my wrist, if I pull back, they're going to pull in the opposite direction. They're going to pull me towards themselves, and then I can use that momentum and step in while they're pulling me towards themselves to take the fight to them, to attack my attacker. And then I am going to subdue them using their own momentum. And now that you know a little bit on how to fight like a Russian spy, I would just say don't use it to influence any elections, and I think